just at the amount of.
Is that me or
no? That's
okay,
me.
all right.
Just the amount of I was the word upsetness about the Warriors' loss yesterday. I just came in and logged on to the great YouTube chat, and they're having the question on the poll is, will the Warriors be a destination for free agents this summer? I was listening to Joe and Bonte on the way in. Boy, they were not happy about that loss yesterday. They've got concerns. And I guess I just think it's interesting, Goo, that
Talk to me, Steiny.
I mean, you're on the road against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are one game out of the first place in the entire Western Conference. I get you want to win every game, but why that game are people really upset about? That's going to be a tough game one way or the other. You hung in there, and I get it. They got to win, and there's got to be urgency, but boy, that's a tough one to demand for the Warriors to win in a season like this.
Well, this is just me, Steiny, because we haven't talked since Friday. The Kerr thing with the minute is odd, and I'll give you my thoughts. I don't understand it, but that's not that was part of the reason they lost. But we're burying the lead. I'm going Ice Cube. I cannot get over what happened at home here Friday night against the Indiana Pacers, to where the Warriors looked old. They looked slow collectively. And if you look at the birth certificate for every Golden State Warrior player, Snotty, some are up there, but all of them are not. They got youth. But yet you let the Pacers come in here. You didn't get back on defense. This team has a colossal problem with guarding the perimeter. And I'm talking about older guys, younger guys. So that's where I'm at. I'm starting from Indiana. And for Steve Kerr to have to sit down the team on a Saturday before yesterday's game, like a high school team, and show the lapses on defense when you got the maestro and arguably you're one of the greatest defenders that we've seen in Draymond Green, and now this team all of a sudden is just, they're cones on defense. So I'm dealing with that pain going into yesterday's game, to where, you know what, they got up off the mat. They still didn't close out on the perimeter. So that's just a team-wide issue. They have breakdowns in regard to concept of switching, Steiny. I don't think a lot of these guys know what they're supposed to do when it comes to switching. So the team defense is like poisoned or tainted. But all in all, I don't understand why Steph Curry, all of a sudden, Coach Kerr is going to say, this is the game, we're going to preserve you. And you had a 3-point lead to start the fourth. You go down 4, and Curry at the 8:56 mark, had you put him in there, would have played 30 or 31 minutes, which would have been the norm, and you got Houston on your ass. To me, hearing Coach Kerr say he doesn't think that had any outcome of the game on the game blew me away. When you brought in the chef, you tied it up 104-104. So, Coach, just from my vantage point, Steiny, a minute of Curry, 30 seconds of Curry, 2 minutes of Curry makes a hell of a difference.
You don't know that.
I will take my chances with that. What do you mean you don't know that? It's better than him not on the bench, and you have been the president of, hey, you're running this guy in the ground, and now you ended up being right. But why now when you need the games after tricking off the game against the Pacers, Steiny?
Well, Steph Curry played 12 minutes against the Pacers. He played all 12 minutes of the fourth quarter against the Pacers.
Yeah, he was
1 for 7 in the fourth quarter.
No doubt.
Fourth quarter against the Pacers. So it stands to reason that 2 days later, Steve Kerr is probably going to say, how many minutes are we going to play Steph Curry in the fourth quarter? And he decided on 6 minutes and 54 seconds, and Steph ended up playing 30 minutes, 29:50, and now we're talking about 2 minutes. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about should he have brought
Curry back sooner.
And I'll just tell you what.
But your Friday example, go ahead.
Well, I'm just telling you what
he was off Friday. You're right. I said.
Listen, it's not me saying it. What I'm hearing from either Steve Kerr or Mike Dunleavy or the front office, what I'm hearing is that Steph can't do it for us 34 minutes a night like we've been expecting him to do it for us this season. Like that's what I'm hearing. We can't keep doing it like we're doing it with Steph playing 34 minutes and us expecting him to carry us like he has in years past. I hear we're not good enough. I hear he's not good enough. And I hear Steve Kerr and Steph Curry trying to figure out what the minutes are there. Let's take a listen to Steph after this game. He played 29 minutes, 50 seconds.
I mean, obviously, you're comparing it to last game and my normal rotation. Like, I want to play as many minutes as I'm fresh and able to. So a little bit, knowing that they were just going on a run, the league was kind of withering away. So, we played the whole fourth quarter and then against Indiana. It didn't work out. This didn't work out. So we got to find somewhere in the middle.
Wow. And he did say the word, Steiny. He went produce. He said fresh. So, again, that I didn't come in here to, go in on Kerr. I just thought it was odd. But the biggest dose of reality for your partner right here is if this is what they're going to do and we're going to get less Steph Curry, which doesn't automatically guarantee you the ultimate Steph Curry when he's on the court, he's human. But, Steiny, the more I look at what's going on, the one-game lead over Houston, I really see a scenario to where they just missed the play-in. Because technically, I left here Friday, I didn't tell you, they're not a top 8 seed. So if this were yesteryear, which it's not, they wouldn't even be a playoff team. But I'm just hearing, not quit, Draymond say, I don't give a damn about the Rockets. And I guess what was he supposed to say? Oh, I'm worried about them. But I'm just hearing stuff like the race is over. Like the fans are all in this, and I think that's why they're in an uproar. But yesterday was another, and I know it's a good team. You cited Minnesota's record, but damn, Steiny, is it that hard or is it wrong of fans to expect him to close out a game? This was another 13 games of 12, and I know it's the league. Leads come and they go, but you lead the league. You're tied with 12-point leads blown at 13 this season. And I can't, maybe it's age. I don't know why it's happening.
It's age. It's execution. It's the fact they have too many young players playing too many minutes. They have too many old players playing too many minutes. Steph and Clay aren't making big shots like they've made in the past, probably due to age. Draymond Green's not quite the defensive player. It's a million different things that come up an inch short night after night after night, and it ends up getting you beat. I don't think it's one thing or the other, to tell you the truth. 888-957-9570 is the number. I guess my question is, are we really... So Steph came back into that game with 6:54 to go. They were down 8. They got a bucket right away to get it to 5, and they ended up pulling even in the game. And this is one of those things where I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you I got to believe that Steve Kerr thinks, and that is that Steve Kerr's got to believe if he had put Steph Curry back in that game with 9 minutes to go or 10 minutes to go, that the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game, he wouldn't have been able to get it done because he wants to keep that last stretch, reasonable. Steph played 12 minutes. He played the whole fourth quarter on Friday. He was 1 for 7.
Yeah, it was bad.
Okay, so then what do you do the next night? He brings him back with 7 minutes to go, essentially. He probably wanted to get him more time, but they got down 8, so he brought him back in the game. I think what he's got to be thinking is, if I bring him back in with 9:30, I know that he can't play 9:30 at a high level in a game like this against that particular team. So what do? You just going to play him 9 minutes every fourth quarter? I mean, back 5 or 6 years ago, we were talking about when do you bring Steph Curry back? And everybody was like, 6 or 7 would be great. Most people wanted 8 or 9, but that was 4 or 5 years ago that the people wanted 8 or 9. Now I think Steve Kerr's telling you it can't be 9. We can't do it that way.
Or the play is telling you.
Exactly.
So I'm being real with you because you know what I want
I don't
from
know.
this season, I'm about to tell you, Steiny, I'd give my right arm to see this Warrior team make it to the play-in. As an organization, how important do you think that is for them this morning after what they're watching and seeing, especially now, if this is something we're going to see moving forward with? We can't run him in the ground. What did Kerr say? He can't just do it for 15 years. And Friday was a bad game for him, but he still was hot to trot yesterday. He hit some big shots. So did Clay. But damn, Steiny, I think a minute or two could have been the difference in them winning or losing. But I'm wondering from afar, how important is the play-in game to this organization?
I don't think it matters.
And you know what? I'm not there.
But Draymond Green wants the play-in game.
You asked me, I'm saying no.
I think NBA players know. I think they know
that if we're even a part of it, we really ain't in it.
They know they can't. They know they can't get it. They can't get it done.
Well, Miami and the Lakers did something
but I'm just telling you what I think. Yeah. Does it look like they're Miami and the Lakers?
No.
Right now?
Steph averaging 33 minutes on the season going into yesterday's game, 32.7.
Okay. So what are we talking about there? Like, is that too many? Is that too little? I mean, I find it, I'll tell you what, I would find it a joke if they're a Warrior fan. Oh, I'll tell you what, that's what cost us this season. The way Steve Kerr handled Steph Curry.
Oh, he
played way too many minutes. Steve Kerr is telling you he doesn't believe that the best way to go is Steph playing the last 9 or 10 minutes a game.